Problems with boundaries? Listen, your biggest issue isn't boundaries. Boundaries, you understand it, you've read the books, watched the YouTube videos. The biggest issues I see with boundaries is the fact that you cannot sit with guilt. Guilt is an uncomfortable emotion, and naturally, if something's uncomfortable, we want to get rid of it to restore our equilibrium. So if boundaries are difficult for you, check out what happens to you. Many of you are incredibly selfless. You focus disproportionately on the needs of others, often at your own expense. That's why when you get to the therapy room, you're like, Key, I don't know who I am anymore. Often because you've lost yourself. And one of the supreme ways we lose ourselves is because we cannot deal with the guilt of what it means to advocate for ourselves, to put ourselves first. We think self-care is selfish. And so what do? We perpetually keep giving and giving and giving until we're threadbare. So whilst you may understand the concept of boundaries, it's not necessarily about understanding. The value of boundaries comes from application. And for many of you, I know that when you endeavor to apply, the guilt cripples you. And to circumnavigate that uncomfortable sensation, what do? We say yes, we concede, we hope that this time it might be different, and we go round in the vicious cycle. And this is particularly important for us to understand when we are trying to separate, divorce from a narcissistic individual. You have to be careful about how your guilt plays into this. Remember, you have to learn to advocate for yourself. Our narcissistic friends are very good at advocating for themselves exclusively. If you know what I'm talking, give me a heart, give me a like, give me a comment, give me something out there. Let me know I'm not alone. Can I get a whoop whoop? We have to become conscious. Actually, to some degree, it may benefit us to be inspired by their behavior so that we may adopt a smidgen of what you may regard as selfishness, so that you advocate for yourself and you advocate for your rights, rather than letting these people dominate, control, compromise your sanity, where you then end up slowly but surely losing your mind. For many of us, we have been in these relationships for many years. We have stayed, we've lived in hope, and we've tolerated. We have hoped that the vision we have for the relationship would come to fruition, or we've been so fearful of getting out that actually, rather than face that fear, we've wished and wanted the narcissistic individual to change. Why? Often so that we don't ever have to contend with self-advocation. My friends, we must learn to be our own best friend, because when we don't, we become our own worst enemy. This is man in the mirror stuff. We have to start to look at ourselves, because our situations are co-created. And if this makes sense to you, and you're curious about how guilt impacts on your life and compromises your freedom and your sanity, and you have the audacity to want a better life, and you are ready for change because the stuckness ain't working no more, and you have a life you want to live, inbox your girl Key or download the guide above. Stop attracting narcissists, because you have to learn to be your own best friend. And until you realize that, you'll keep going round in vicious cycle. Make sense? If it does, leave a comment below. Do take care of you, because if you don't, no one is coming to save you. You must learn to save yourself. And if you don't believe that, hold on, wait out. And as the years tick by, you get to a point where you begin to wonder, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda left then. We don't want to live a life of regrets. We want to learn to accept that, yes, that was painful. And yes, I was at a space in my life where I tolerated. But now, if you are at a place where now Your toleration is done, the hope has gone, and you're ready to face the fear, it is a new day. Do take care. Shigaki. Peace.